Aleichem Rabotai, this is Rabbi Kovacs. We are continuing Mishnah Yomi, Erev Shabbat Vet Chanan. We've been in Maasrot a full week, and today we're finishing up the second parak. We're at Mishnah Zayin. Hasocher et apoel liktzot imot enim. Somebody with a lot of figs to process hires a worker to process his te'enim. And we're going to see this Mishnah is a bit different. Yesterday, somebody was purchasing fruits. Today, this worker is exchanging his work for the fruits. However, the Torah also entitles a worker, a laborer, a field hand, to eat from the produce he is working with. So we're going to see he has an entitlement from the Torah to eat, and he's also exchanging his labor for food as well. So Amar Lo, if he says, Almanat she'ochel te'enim, on condition I eat te'enim, ochel or pater, he can eat these figs, and he's pater from Meiser. And this is a bit of a chiddush, because he's liktzot te'enim. Now, the Bartanura brings liktzot can either mean la'asot ketziot, okay, liktzot, making ketziot, which means yesh mefarshim l'shatchan le'avesh. Some say it means you spread them out to dry. So he's putting these figs aside to dry. Yesh mefarshim l'chotchan. Some say to cut them b'mikzuot, with the knife called the makzuot. So makzuot is the knife used to cut open the figs before you spread them to dry. This is a knife specific for cutting open te'enim that they're going to dry. But you see, it's sort of a gemar malacha type labor that this man's doing, and the chiddush is he can still eat because he's eating as an entitlement from the Torah, and he's pater from taking meiser. Almanat she'ochel ani uvnei. But if he says, on condition that I eat and members of my household, or my son should eat for my wage, the worker himself can eat while he's working, and he's pater, because that's an entitlement from the Torah. But his son is eating as payment for the work, he would be chayev to take meiser, because now the exchange, the kinyan, has taken place. So those figs the son's eating, those were koneh already with the work of the laborer. Mishnah continues, if the worker says, on condition that I eat some figs while I'm working, while I'm cutting them or spreading them, and afterwards. So the Mishnah explains what's the din. When he's cutting them or working with them, ochel pater. He's entitled from the Torah to eat, so he's pater from meiser. The kinyan hasn't happened yet. It was an automatic entitlement. But la'achar k'tziyah, after he's done the work is over, and now he's eating figs as the wage. The kinyan has happened already. So ochel v'chayev. So he's chayev to take meiser, because that kinyan, this transaction with the meiser, now makes it chayev and meiser. She'eino ochel min Torah. That explains because he's not eating from the Torah anymore. He's already done working. It's payment for his wages due. The kinyan's happened. Zeh klal. The Mishnah concludes, ochel min Torah pater. So someone who's eating as an entitlement from the Torah, that's pater from meiser. The kinyan's not done yet. She'eino ochel min Torah chayev. If someone else is eating, or it's a condition of employment, it's a wage, it's chayev to take meiser. It's considered the transaction's done, and he has to take meiser before even snacking. Mishnah Ches. Haya osei bilvosim. The worker is working with the levosim. These are the inferior type of figs. He can't eat from the superior figs. He's only entitled from the Torah to eat what he's working with, the same species. Bivnot Sheva is working with the good ones. Lo bilvosim. He shouldn't eat the inferior ones. Aval, but what he could do is moneahu et atzmo. He can hold himself back. So he can refrain from eating while he's working with inferior figs. So he has a bit of an appetite when he gets to the gishmaka figs. He's going to eat more of those. That's considered fine. Hamachli from chavero, someone's trading figs with his fellow. Whether it's a case of zelechol v'zelechol, one has figs that are ready to eat, the other one has figs ready to eat, so it's gemar malacha. Or zeliktzot v'zeliktzot, one has figs that are about to be, cut open to be dried or spread out to be dried, and same with the other one. Or zelechol v'zeliktzot, one is going to be eaten immediately, it's a gemar malacha, and the other one's going to be spread out to dry first. chayev. So we would have to take meiser. This trading, this machalif, is a transaction. It's a kinyan. Rabbi Yehuda mer machalif le'echol chayev. If they're ready to eat already, it's chayev. Liktzot, but if they're going to be spread out to dry and set aside for further drying, pater. So there's not gemar malachi yet, according to Rabbi Yehuda, and they wouldn't have to take meiser before snacking. Shkoyach Rabosai, good Shabbos.